Good evening, BSTV fans and Clyde, apparently, on the chat. Welcome to Bathurst. All you can see are trees at the minute. That is the biggest feature of Bathurst right now. This is the TCR Challenge, Season 12. That's right, 12 seasons. It's going strong, and it's getting stronger. The fields seem to be getting bigger and bigger. We are at Bathurst for rounds 9 and 10. A sprint round, which is round 9. That'll be 20 minutes, and then a 40-minute feature, which follows with a pit stop guaranteed because they can't do it on the fuel they've got. Hi to Robin on the chat. I'm Pete Bingham, and I'm joined again tonight by Sir Alan of Toon. Good evening.
Evening, Peter. Evening, everybody. Excited to be here. I love this place. It's dangerous and alluring in equal parts, and yeah, we're in for a good time.
We are. Walls are a mega feature here, but hopefully that temperature will help them round the track. 26 degrees is the track temperature at the moment. We are in Australia, obviously, so the weather is better than it is in the UK at the moment because it's bleeding freezing. We have a challenging grid tonight for all of the gladiators. And a few updates. So let's just go through where everybody stood in the standings so far before we get into the meat and veg of it. So our championship leader with drop rounds. I'm starting to include the drop rounds in because quite a few of them have them now. Our championship leader at the moment is Wobbly Kneecaps. He is only 5 points ahead of Sam Blease with the drop rounds included. Now, it's a bit of a strange situation because as we were tearing him to pieces last week for the BSTV betrayal, because he's joined Impulse Racing. He's actually swapped over to Impulse Racing in this league now already. So that's a bit of a turn up for the books, Alan.
Yes. Well, so have we got a load of spare points to give out as largesse because he doesn't want them? Is that right?
Well, apparently he didn't want them for the team, but he's keeping them as an individual racer. Those are the rules that we abide by. Obviously, he's got the -1 driver of the meeting point. Don't know where that negative came from. Nothing to do with me, of course. But yeah, you know, he's currently got the fastest time in the session, ahead of Stephen Walker. But in the championship, Sam Blease is second, as I said, 403 points. Spencer McCarthy, with the drop round included, is on 391 points. Where is Sam? Sam is there on track. Spencer. Can I see Spencer? I don't think Spencer's here.
Spencer's not. Well, he was not here last week. I think he's still in his holidays, isn't he?
Oh, is he really? Right. Okay. So he's going to lose that spot. I would almost guarantee, because in fourth place is Gary Craig in his Veloster, and then fifth and rounding out the top five is a now injured Jamie Wilson. Sadly,
What's the matter with Jamie?
He's hurt his arm. And won't be racing. He may join us in the booth later, he says. Not sure just yet, but we'll see.
She'll miss him.
Yeah, he's usually a good feature up at the pointy end this season because that Honda is pretty tasty. So,
while in Jamie's hands, he's been driving exceptionally well, I think.
He has, and I think that was Stephen Walker flashing at Wobbly. That is the only acceptable time to flash your lights, folks. And drivers, when Wobbly is ahead of you, so you can distract him off the track.
Well, you've got to be happy for Impulse, haven't you? Being in their colours, having a driver of Wobbly's passing your team's colours, got to make you feel happy.
Either that or ever so slightly suicidal.
You don't know what Wobbly's going to come out of the box, do you?
Yeah. New driver is this boy, to this league anyway, Emerson Godin.
That's a nice fast name.
Yeah. Nice paintwork. They love these asymmetric paint jobs these days, don't they?
Oh, yeah. It's all the rage. They're going to get their heads done that colour.
Yeah. Oh, dear. That's funny stuff. Jamie Jeffrey putting in a very, very classy time. He's third already. Provisionally, obviously.
A bit of a return to form for Jamie.
Yeah, I mean,
this is where he was a few weeks ago, isn't he? He was launching near the top, so that's he'll be happy about that. Yeah,
he will.
Jamie.
Yeah, we've got 21 racers this evening. Clyde's saying, was Jamie waxing the dolphin? I think there's a suggestion there that he's incurred a masturbatory injury. We'll let Jamie tell you himself later if he decides to join. In the
We have
team...
got Stephen back, haven't we? So that's
Stephen
nice.
Walker's back. That's good. Right, so let's have a look at the team standings. BSTV, which is Gary and JB, are currently leading the way on 634. Is that right? Yeah. Then Geodesic Racing on 611. Spectre 6 on 604 points in third. BSTV Sports Pink in fourth on 544, with Geodesic Racing White, which is just Sambly's on his lonesome, in fifth on 492 points.
Force of nature.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty tight. This season it's a lot tighter than it's been for other compared to other seasons.
Well, we've had some fantastic racing as well all season.
We have, yeah. We finally got Russell Cowell in his Spectre 6 paint job. He's been in the council paints for a while.
It's spectacular, isn't it?
It's pretty flashy, isn't it? I wonder if he can follow it up with a flashy result.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, let's see. Right, so, and then Driver of the Meet in the most coveted award in the whole of racing worldwide, both real and simulated. Tony Yates is currently the top boy. Jamie Wilson, who's not here, has a point, as does Jason Haddington, Jamie Jeffrey, David Johansson, JB, Sam Blees and Spencer. And all to fight for, and Tony Yates to oust off the top of that.
Well, Tony was exceptionally did great when his first few weeks. He was driving so well, and he deservedly got a good start with his drivers award. So yeah, he's got to keep it up though. It's a tough one actually, because you're in the hands of the gods really, aren't you, with this one?
You are, definitely. This one, there's so many walls around here that are just inviting you in. There's not much in the top two at the moment. We'll try and go on board with Wobbly if he does another lap at the end of this. There's the opportunity to get round one more, maybe, is there? No, there's not, is there? This is possibly the last lap that he will attempt, but we'll see. We'll see. So this is the last corner. This is Murray's.
God, it's tight. Look at the times.
Yeah, I know. The times, there's not much in any of it, is there? Stephen and Wobbly. Yeah, so he's pulling over. We'll get on board as we go around during the race, because everybody's just going to come over the line and pull over. It's a heat race, so it will chin them all out of the session as soon as the timing tower there in your top left corner hits 15 minutes. So, who else is still on track? That is... Who is that? Oh, that's Andrew Littler.
That's Andrew.
Making his way down the mountain. Anybody on the track map at the minute? Let's have a quick look. So, car 11 is currently making his way around. That's Stefan. So, we'll jump on board with Stefan. So, we're already up the mountain here. Coming up, we've been over the skyline. Into the roller coaster. Or the dipper, sorry. And then down here through all the S's section, excuse me, and then into Forest Elbow, which is, and there you go, there's the timing, has chinned them out of that one. Right, so let's get on.
Essential corner, Forest Elbow as well, just as you're about to tell everybody. You've got to get the time coming out there, haven't you? If you're slow out there, you're in...
you're crippled and you are a victim. So, Wobbly will be your pole man for round 9, the sprint race, this evening for Impulse Racing on a 2:18.215 and just 3 hundredths of a second behind him. Stephen Walker for Spectre 6th and number. Gary Craig goes off 3rd. That's a really good grid for Gary. BSTV. Jamie Jeffrey goes off 4th for CCR. 5th will be Matt Elmore for Spectre 6. Sam Blees for Geodesic Racing White will go off 6th. Russ Cowell will go off 7th. Sam Blees, by the way, is your championship winner from last season. Let me get a decent camera on these guys. There we go. Russell Cowell off 7th, like I said, Spectre 6th, the letters. Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports goes off 8th. 9th will be Emerson Godan, who is brand new to us, 9th. His team is Sapphire Simsport. Why it's not come through on there, I don't know. Anne Woodward goes off 10th for NQR. Carl Hardy 11th for Result Clothing. Just missed the 12th one. Got a bit eager on the button there. 12th was Adam Wright. That's not bad for him, to be honest. Oh, Safeguard by Result, sorry. Adam Wright, BSTV Esports, pink off 12th. 13th, Arnaud Chenonnier. 14th, Tony Walker. Chris Needham goes off 15th. We'll do the teams on these later. 16th will be Tony Yates. JB Deju will go off 17th. There's a couple not joined the grid yet, so gives me a little more time. Roger Morton for Safeguard goes off 18th. 19th is Matt Flannery for Geodesic Racing. Andrew Littler goes off 20th for Result Clothing. And Jason Haddington, Kylie Haddington off 21st and last for Air Smart Racing. So, lights are coming on. 5 lights and we are go. We didn't make them wait. And a bit of a divide down the middle of the field there as Barney waves his flag good and strong. And Wobbly's already away. Look at that.
Crikey. He made a great start, didn't he? He was great on it.
He really did.
But, you know, Wobbly's great at this kind of thing, but he was at the front, and on this track, you really don't want to lose that. You know, you want to be taking advantage and getting away as soon as you can.
Yeah, and Stephen Walker's trying to chase him with Gary in close company.
Yes, well, they realise he's trying to put early pressure on them, and it's hairy business.
I think Ant Woodward didn't hit anything there. I think he managed to get round Quarry Turn as we go up the hill. 2 by 2 with
dangerous
Stefan.
through here, especially first lap.
Very. Jamie Jeffrey further forward is under a lot of pressure at the minute from last season's champion Sam Blease.
Sam's so quick off the mark.
Yes. Super fast.
Always is, yeah. You know, he's dangerous when he's on pole.
Oh, yeah.
He just gets away so often, doesn't he?
Just checks out, yeah. This is Adam Wright putting masses of pressure onto Arnaud Chenonnier. Everybody's kind of sorted themselves out going over the top of the hill. Wobbly has already got himself a whopping lead. It's 1.5 seconds already.
Oh, look at that gap. Goodness me. Is that what 1.5 seconds looks like?
It is.
That's massive, isn't it?
Honestly,
it looks massive,
it's just
you know,
immense.
Just one bad braking though, and it's all gone. So yeah, that's pretty nifty for.
Oh, Gary Craig.
Oh, Steve. I mean, Stephen's not doing bad, is he?
No, Gary Craig under pressure here. They're going to lose a position maybe to Matt Elmore. 2 velocities.
Wow.
And Gary's given that one up. A bit further back there, Carl Hardy was... Oh, no, it wasn't. It was these two. Adam Wright's got that job done on Arnaud Chenonnier at the end of the chase.
He's driving well.
He is. And the whole field... The whole field's doing really well here.
Yeah.
Look at the track map. They are literally glued together. Ooh, Matt Elmore under pressure from both Gary and from Jamie Jeffrey, who's slung it down the inside and will lose out as a result.
Awkward position, stuck on the inside of that corner there. Not where you want to be. I bet that was a bit hairy around the old barrel department.
Emerson Gaudan, new boy, is at the back of that queue there on the left, making his way past Jamie Jeffrey now.
He's
been quite
really comfortable close, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Sam Blease is the car in front of him, so a great person to follow, and he's just, well, he was about to send it a little bit on Sam, and he's doing good here. And look at Carl Hardy just behind.
Yeah, well, Carl was saying he was slow, and I said to him, well, you know, the race is a different story, Carl.
Yeah.
And it always is, isn't it?
Oh, everybody's concertinaing up here and getting in each other's way now.
Bit of rattle and roll.
Yeah. And a lot of shaking it as well, music reference.
Right, it's tight over there. Look how close they are, you know. The field's so close in time, it just takes a while for them to get spread out to it. So they've got actual breathing room because they're so close, and it only takes a fraction of a mistake, and everybody's piled up. So.
Ooh, that's bad. That's bad.
Oh, what was I saying?
I'm gonna have to do something here, I'm afraid, folks.
Yes.
Caution, yellow flag.
Yes.
We had a block track, so apologies for the screen. But we're going to see a lot of visitors to pit road now. They do get a fast repair. They can obviously service their cars as they see fit, but they are under caution. Only Matt Elmore appears to have reset to the pits. Everybody else is going to try and nurse it home, which is the advantageous thing to do right now.
Absolutely.
Don't want to drop a lap. I'll see if I can wave Matt Elmore round. But that was super messy. We'll go and have a look at that, shall we, while everybody makes their way back to the pits. Well, where did it start? Good grief, my timing screen is just a light. Looks like it started here. I might be wrong, so we'll have to have a look at this. So, it's ahead of them, look. It's already happened. Oh, that's Russell Cowell, maybe. And definitely a Gary in there. So, we'll go and have a look at that. Everybody blocked the track there, so it was the right call.
Was it Sam as well?
Let's have a look. I'm looking for Gary. There we go. I think Matt Elmore was involved. Let's have a look at this.
Oh, it's such a shame.
So, going down after... Oh, right. It was Matt Elmore that lost it originally. Gary... Yeah, Gary did everything right there. He stopped the car.
Yeah.
A lot of them filed through, but then in there... somebody else lost it further round, didn't they?
Yes.
Okay.
That would completely blocked it then. That's,
yeah, look at that. That's just scrappy now.
Yeah, it's completely blocked.
Okay, so it'll be some time before we figure out who is where. They will form up behind Wobbly. We've got some in the pits at the moment, leaving the pits, which is good. Hopefully Wobbly has the broadcast on in the background and he can hear me telling him to slow down. Oh, that is an unhealthy looking car. And why has that not worked on his fast repair?
Fast repair?
That's very strange.
I wasn't expecting to see that.
No, I thought he'd be... Oh, he's towing, isn't he, of course? He's got a 2.5 minute tow.
So is that what a towing car looks like?
So, I'm going to try and wave him round once he's back running. Everybody else in single file coming round the mountain. So, it doesn't take much to block the track here, Alan. And it doesn't guarantee that we're not going to have the same thing happen again.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I've seen people pacing round here in another league, and they crashed going through there on the under yellow, under caution.
Well, you know, it's just a dangerous piece of track, and it only takes the slightest misjudgment, and the car's out of control.
Yeah.
And you're a passenger, aren't you?
So let's have a look at the big losers in that. Gary Craig is a big loser. He's way back down in 16th. Sam Blees, another one in 7th. Yeah. Oh, he's in 15th, Gary Craig, sorry. Sam Blees in 17th. Russ Cowell.
And poor Jamie as well.
Yeah.
Jamie Jeffrey, who was, you know, that's a shame because they were really sharp end of things there, and that's really in this short race.
Yeah.
That's curtains, really.
It is. Oh, right, he's moving. So apologies for what you're going to see on the screen, folks. I need to wave him around. Right. Hopefully he can get round and past the field and do another lap to catch up. Or is he already on the lap? I think he's already on the lap, is he?
He's on 3. Oh, well, I don't know.
Oh, no, he's 2.3. Yeah, he's 2 minutes, 36 seconds behind the leader. So I think he's on the right lap now. I might be wrong, but we'll see what happens in a minute. Right. Yeah, you can see him there. He's already half a lap behind, so let's see where he ends up when everybody gets going again. I don't know whether they've had the nod that they're going to go racing again. Everybody else is here. Oh, lights are out on the pace car.
Yeah.
So he will... Oh, he's not going to manage to catch this. And I can't remember what the instruction is to add a lap.
Well, he's not gone off, has he? Is he going to go? He's got his lights off.
So pace car's got the lights off. Yeah. I can't remember what the instruction is to extend a lap. Right, just one sec. Because if I extend it now, we're going to get no racing, are we?
No. We're at 10 minutes there.
So, mega apologies to Matt Elmore, but he's going to have to put up with this and see what he can get, because that pace car's coming in at the end of the lap. Because I'm not going to extend this further.
No, he'll have to come in, and Matt will appreciate he's doing his best.
Yeah.
There's his, he was in a really bad situation, but you know, that was an unfortunate place to have a crash, and he just lost it in a bad place, and we don't see it happen very often with these guys.
No, this is very rare, very rare. Big winners in that. Emerson Godan in his first race out, he's in 3rd place.
Yes.
Podium for him if he can manage to stay there. Or do better. Carl Hardy's done well here. He's moved right into the top 5. Stefan Goebel up 3 places. Carl Hardy's up 7 places from his start position. What's that?
Yeah.
Roger Morton further back. There's a few up here that have won.
I was bending my ear only half an hour ago saying he didn't his chances.
Right.
Saying the race is a different thing.
Bizarre.
Look at that. So nice to see Stefan up there, even though it's come by misfortune for the others, and I don't like to see that really, because you know all these guys raced honest and clean, and you don't like to see misfortune come to them.
No, and looking at it, Matt Elmore is going to catch the back of this field, and do you know what? He's going to have red hot tyres, and he'll be ready to race.
Yes.
They won't. This is going to make it a bit interesting.
Let's hope he's
in fact, I think
take advantage.
I think he's here.
Great.
I think this is the back of the field now.
Well, this is going to work out just as good as it could be, Pete. So you know.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I planned it, but there's no way I planned that.
Well, we've got it.
Right, let's find us. I think blimp cam's just terrible here. Oh my god, look at that! I feel a bit dizzy.
Oh, they did that to me the first time I had a VR headset on. This was the place they bought me.
Right.
And they put me in the blimp on my first go. I nearly pooed myself. Because you've got no legs, no body. You know, you're just hanging there in space. You're a disembodied person in space, hanging there in space, looking down, and you're on top of a mountain, so it seems like you're... Oh, goodness.
Oh, there goes Matt Elmore, ahead of everyone. I don't think I should have waved him round now. Can I make him lose a lap? I'm not sure.
No, I think that would be a bit unfair. Psychological damage, that would be.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll realise and someone will tell him pull over because he's now leading the race. But you never know. We'll have to amend it later. Amendments can be made. Right, pace cars in.
Well, they'll be ready to go.
They will.
They'll be handing over their steering wheels.
Right, what's going on further back?
Green.
Nothing, they're just
Hopefully
slowing
nothing.
so much. Right, we are green again, we are racing again. Hopefully Matt Elmore does something sensible. He may pull over, I don't know. Someone will tell him in a minute. So, off we go.
Good place to do it. So, Wobbly's in second now.
For now,
Matt?
yeah, until Matt realises. Somebody will tell him to filter his way back, I'm sure.
And then Stephen, yeah, so...
So, yeah, second, third and fourth as they are. Ignore the
This is a
timing
very
tower for now, folks.
truncated race now. This very little of it left.
There is.
That's unfortunate to happen in the short sprint race. It was going to cause chaos when we had to call the safety in on that one.
Yeah, it's difficult on a track this big, because obviously when he was in the pits it said +1 lap, so I tried to unlap him and unlapped him into the lead, which is brilliant for Matt Elmore anyway. But we'll sort that out in the points later on. Give him a drive-through. That is a good idea. What a good idea. Good man. Oh, let me do that. You won't appreciate it, I'm sure, but we'll find him. So you're getting yourself. Where is it? Let's give him a 30-second black flag. There we go. Enjoy that, Matt, won't you? Oops.
That's going to put him miles back.
Probably, but he caused the incident in the first place anyway.
This is so. So they're spreading out a little bit now. They've probably seen enough of each other under the safety car, and they're sick of the sight of each other's back ends.
Yeah. So
Mr. Godan is doing very well here still, isn't he? But
yeah.
he clearly has pace. And because he was doing very well before we had our incident, so it's just sustaining of really good, decent pace.
Yeah, Clyde on the chat saying I'll need to disqualify him before the end of the race in order to sort the points out. However, he is in the pits now for serving that flag, which is fine. We've also had an incident, so we'll go back and look at that, Alan. It's worth a look, I think, if my screen will help me out here.
Oh, no.
There we go. It's been a bit of a choppy, changey race, folks, for the broadcast, but so apologies for that, but there you go. That was Stefan hitting the wall, and again, good grief, we nearly had a repeat. He's behind that tree, folks. If I could move the tree, it'd be great. And he reset to the pits. So that was nothing, therefore, to do with this one. I thought these two things were combined because they were almost exact. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
God. You can see the other crash in the distance. I thought they were together in that crash.
They were together.
Yeah. So that was the end of their races.
It's reaping a harvest tonight, isn't it? The hill.
It is.
Goodness me.
Oh, you are kidding. There's another one.
No.
I think somebody's greased the track. So he's already going slow. That's Gary Craig at the bottom of your screen there. So what's going on here? Oh, did he not repair? Has he got a technical issue? But he's reset the car. So we'll have to find out what happened there. Thank you to Robin and Gotham Manon. I've just said your name horrendously wrong there. For your advice on giving the black flag, because that's worked beautifully. He's now at the back of the queue and he's on the pace. So there you go. Right. So, oh, no way. Honestly, this is going to be a car graveyard in a minute. So that's Carl Hardy with significant damage. That's the only footage I've got, believe it or not. So he's rejoined safely, or is he resetting? Oh, he's reset. He's already reset. Okay. So that's him reset.
Oh. Well, that's... this is not ideal.
No, but some people in this race are going to end up with points much higher than they normally end up with.
Yes.
And this is going to stir the pot, I think. What isn't going to get stirred is Wobbly at the front with Stephen Walker in second. Emerson.
Fastest lap.
He has, yeah, good spot. Stephen Walker in second with the fastest lap so far. That won't please Wobbly because he likes to get those little prizes. Emerson in his first race in third place, doing a great job. Ant Woodward, not usually, not in this league scoring high, is he?
Well, it's great to see him right up there in the top five. It's not, we don't normally see him in the top five, and Adam as well.
Yeah, Adam right behind him.
Top five, holding his own and doing really well.
I'm sure I just heard bending metal.
Oh no, Sione as well, also doing really well. Because they've got good. All these drivers have got really good pace. You give them spot near the front of the field. You know, they're not going to want to lose it.
Oh no,
You're
definitely
going to have
not.
to take it off them, and they've got, you know, the times are so close that it's on a track like this, trying to get past is. These guys are good defenders. They know where to put the car on the road. You know, there's no easy passes with these guys.
No, definitely not. And we've got a bit of a heated exchange going on back here, look. So this is Sam Blease chasing down his sister teammate. But they're both being caught. Sam Blease being caught by Jamie Jeffrey, who seems to be super on the pace this time.
Yeah.
The only problem is they're midfield. These guys aren't used to being in midfield. These guys are used to being at the front. Because that's Russell Cowell, who's suddenly jetted onto the back.
Yeah.
So this is where the
formidable foursome, isn't it?
It is. And I think this, unless I'm very much mistaken, is last lap.
Could well be 1940.
Yeah. I might be very wrong. You might just get over the line here for another, but
You have to get a move on.
You will. I'm going to have to go back to that other. I'm just going to see if this is race end or not. Anybody waving a flag down here? And yeah, that's a white flag. A white flag.
Barney.
So we're going again, and I'm going to go to this battle because it's heating up. So Sam Blease has already passed his teammate. I think it was a bit of a multi-21, but here comes. Ooh, thought he was gonna.
Well, that's.
All Jamie's done there is put himself. Robin, I have to sympathise with this Robin on the chat. He's known Wobbly for 15 years.
Oh.
How have you not killed him? We've known him for like 2, and it's almost unbearable.
15 years.
15 years. Must have been like a child.
Don't you get an award for that?
Well, you get a Heart of Gold award for not killing him. Here we go, Tony Walker.
Oh, side by side, crikey!
That was really nice from Roger Morton. Is it Roger Morton? Yes, it is. Roger Morton. Nice overtake.
He's got the wrong paint again. We had this problem last week. He hasn't got his paint.
Who's that? Matt Flannery got out of shape there.
Oh, that's cost
Didn't
him
hit
that.
anything, but you're right. Cost him a position. JB in the background licking his lips, thinking, "Go on, a bit more. Might get another place here. I'm already up 3."
It's nice to see Tony Walker back now that his brother's back on the grid.
Yes. Yeah.
It's nice to see you back on the track instead of in the chat, Tony. It's nice to have you in the chat, but really like to see you on the track, matey. I like the car. It's very attractive. I think I like the delivery on that car.
Yeah. I'm not going to repeat what Gotham Manon just said. I'm sorry I'm butchering your name, but you'll have to come in and tell me how you really say it. I'm not going to repeat what he said on the chat about how long Robin's known Wobbly. You can read it for yourselves. As JB has caught Matt Flannery. Matt may have problems with the car. And down the hill we go. Have we already got to the end? Here we go.
He got taken pretty easily, didn't he?
Checkered flag for Wobbly kneecaps, and over the line behind him, Stephen Walker. And
well
look at that. Emerson. Well done.
Emerson. Congratulations. Podium on his first race.
I know. What's that about?
Fantastic. Well done. Well, that was short and sweet, wasn't it, Pete? It was not what we wanted, but crikey, it certainly put a different slant on it.
It did. I think Tony Walker just kept Sam Blease behind him just about there at the end. Still racing over the line. Some of them, Andrew Littler's done well there.
Yeah, it's
coming out of trouble. Kyle Hardy, who was doing so well at the start, right the way back down here in 17th after losing it on the top of the hill.
Yes, well, he had to take the toe, didn't he?
Gotham and David Johansson. Right, makes sense now. Legend of the Fall. Yes, what are you doing, mate? So he has to do the jump. Who has to do the jump? Nobody's done the jump. They've all quit out. They'll do that in the second race. This is Carl Hardy finishing his race. in 17th, and I think we've still got Chris Needham. Oh, Wobbly doing the jump now. He quit out after he went through turn 1. He's now no part of that just now. Roger Morton, though, up 10 places, the most forward-moving driver, Alan.
Well done, Roger. That was fantastic. But, you know, not normal circumstances. He hasn't got his normal paint either.
No, I don't know what's going on with his paint. It's just a bit strange.
If you mix the yellow and the blue together, you get a nice green.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But,
Right.
yeah, he's taking advantage of well, it wasn't a normal race, was it?
No.
But having said that, look who's at the front, you know. Wobbly and Stephen have out of a scrap and all that the fallout from a terrible incident on the mountain, and they've come out shining again.
Yeah, they have. Well, I'll run through the finishing order of what was probably not a great thing to watch as a spectator, because there was me buggering about with the controls a lot of the time. But Wobbly Kneecaps was the eventual victor for Impulse Racing. Stephen Walker came home second and got the second step for Spectre 6. Emerson Gaudan, in his first race out for Sapphire Simsport, even though it says privateer on there, was third. What a great result. Ant Woodward, way further forward than we've seen him so far in the TCR, for NQR in fourth. Adam Wright in fifth for BSTV Esports Pink, good result. Arnaud Chenonnier right up there in sixth for Air Smart Racing, with Tony Yates seventh for Sim Racing Grid Honda. Roger Morton, let me move the camera into the stratosphere a second. Roger Morton finished 8th for Safeguard by result. Tony Walker for Spectre 6 finished 9th. Sam Blease was 10th for Geodesic Racing White. Jamie Jeffrey finished in 11th for CCR, with Russell Cowell in 12th for Spectre 6. JB Dejoux in 13th for BSTV. 14th was Matt Flannery for Geodesic Racing. Result Clothing's Andrew Littler finished 15th. 16th was Jason Haddington, or Kylie, for Air Smart Racing 2. Carl Hardy finished 17th for Safeguard by result. Chris Needham 18th for Air Smart Racing. Matt Elmore 19th for Spectre 6. Gary Craig finished 20th for BSTV, but 2 laps down. Press that, Pete, and you'll get the last one. 21st, and sadly last, Stefan Goebel with his crash in the dipper for VTS Esports. So he'll want a better showing second time out. Right. Let's see. There's plenty going on in the chat. So, David Ayres is on the chat. Anybody watching TCR UK on Sunday? It was great to see the real life Elantra Veloster flying around Snetterton. Probably very true. We have just a 5-minute interlude here. Usually we see them practicing their pit stops. I'm not going to ask you if anything surprised you in that race, Alan, because I think everything surprised us in that race.
Well, it wasn't the normal race that we get to see. We have very, very small amount of carnage generally with these guys. This is one of those tracks, you know, in a place like that, it's so dangerous, and it just takes the slightest error and other people get involved, because everything's cheap by Joe with these chaps. You know, it's early in the race, tyres are cold, everybody's full of adrenaline, and they're right up each other's exhaust pipes.
They are, and this is also going to be a key feature of this next race, the pit entry. It is. Why they made it so difficult, I've no idea, but it's almost a race in itself.
I'm sure they put extra kinks in there. I'm sure there's no need for at least 2 of those kinks.
Well, I think it's so that people shed the speed earlier than they need to. I think that was the logic behind it. This is Wobbly going down the chase here, or down Conrad and then into the chase. This is the chase here. You got this left-hander, second gear in most cars, second gear in this one as well. Get yourself a bit of curb to help turn the car there, and then fire it down here. He's also going to practice his pitting, because it is so difficult. In the V8 race recently, we saw 2 drivers get it wrong down here, one of them being a stalwart of V8 ESC. I mean, that's a good pit lane entry. That was super fast.
That was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is Ant Woodward, who did really well in the first race. Obviously, we reversed the top 8, folks, and do you know what? I've no idea who that is now, because I didn't pay any attention to it with everything else going on. So this is just been through the cutting. He's making his way up the hill here, up Griffin's Mount, I think this is called. Then we go through Sulman Park, which is this bit with the wall on the right, which I hit regularly, up and over the hill. Sorry, this is Sulman. Sorry,
it's hairy through here, isn't it?
It is. That was McPhillamy Park that we've just gone through. This is Skyline, very famous.
Skyline.
Yeah. Into the Dipper.
Well, yes.
We're about to lose this because he's pulling over anyway. So we shall go up here because we are going to start to grid. There we go.
That's Dipper.
It's brutal. Round 10, folks. Roger Morton gets the pole on the reverse grid for safeguard by result. Tony Yates off second for Sim Racing Grid. Arnaud Chenonnier will go off third for Air Smart Racing, with Adam Wright off fourth for BSTV Esports Pink. Ant Woodward goes off fifth for NQR, with Emerson go down for Sapphire Simsport off sixth. Seventh is Stephen Walker for Spectre 6. Wobbly, it goes off eighth as your race 1 winner, or sorry, round 9 winner for Impulse Racing. Tony Walker off 9th for Spectre 6. 10th, Sam Blees for Geodesic Racing White. That's not too bad for Sam. He's not that far back if he's wanting to beat Wobbly to the line and get some points off him. Jamie Jeffrey off 11th for CCR. 12th will be Russell Cowell. Let me move that forward. For Spectre 6. JB Dejoux off 13th for BSTV. Matt Flannery 14th. Let me make sure I've got cameras. Oh no, we're already revving, so we'll have to do the others another time.
Green, green, green.
And
we're
we've gone.
Come on, Roger.
Yeah,
this is great. These two at the front. This is, these are two handy drivers.
Well, we've seen Tony Yates. Ooh, that's Emerson getting into it very quickly. We're going to go up and above them with the cameras.
3 wide, 4 wide. Ooh, chaps, be careful.
I know. They're certainly crawling over one another now. Emerson at the back of this little queue here on the left-hand side of the pink car, which is Adam Wright. Adam's not on the favourable line, actually. If you can hold it on the outside, which he's not managed to do, you can get good drive. So he's going to lose a couple of places here to Stephen Walker and to Sam Blees. And that's Wobbly now behind Emerson. Oh, Sam has hit the wall on the outside. Emerson's squeezed down the inside. It's just a flesh wound. Anybody watching Monty Python lately? So up the hill they go. The mountain, I should say. It is Mount Panorama after all. Nobody yet has made it into a wall, but the most difficult series of turns are just ahead of us. Over Skyline and into this, the Dipper.
Well, it's had some scalps already today.
It really has, quite a lot actually. They weren't just in that first crash. There was a few after it, but everybody seems to be safely through. That's great.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what.
Track, Pete. Is it a hot track?
Is it a hot track? I've no idea. I'll go and have a look. Track temperature 24 degrees. It's cooling. We're in the evening now.
Shouldn't be causing any problems then, really.
I wouldn't have thought so. Roger Morton checking out. Go on, Roger.
Well, Roger's dangerous when you put him in front of a race like this.
Yeah.
Seen this before. We held on for a very long time, and if you remember, it took, I think, Wobbly and Stephen got by him. He hung on for a very long time.
Yeah, Stephen Walker trying to do Adam Wright here. He's on the wrong side of him now. Adam's done a good job of keeping him back there. I mean, you can see the battle box. So apparently, according to SDK, that is the battle for second place, which is second through to 19th. It is a very close field, folks. It's nothing usually like race 1 was. You probably already know that if you're stalwarts. Evening into darkness, test those skills, absolutely, Hoff. Andrew Hoffman on the chat as well. When are you going to come and join us in TCRs? Well, that's a defensive line there from Arnaud Chenonnier on Ant Woodward. We've seen Arnaud Chenonnier doing some defensive moves in the past. Sometimes it's worked for him, sometimes it's led to some incidents. There's a bit of side-by-side back here with Sambleys and Wobbly. Oh no, it's not, it's Emerson. Tell you what, that Emerson, he's quick.
He's unfairless.
Oh, and the Hoff is back in the V8 next season. That'll be season 14 of V8 ESC. I've not even finished 13 yet. Oh, now Tony Walker dropping down the field. Is that a disconnect? Or is he in a wall somewhere?
Oh,
I can't get him on the screen. I think that's a disconnect.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, I hate
Go back to the action.
So there's nothing worse than technical issues if that's what's happened.
I think that must be what's happened. I can't believe it's anything but that. Oh, that's a good little.
Tie around there.
That's beautiful from Stephen Walker. He saw an opportunity and it was right into it. And we saw
wasn't it?
We saw it
on
live.
The inside. That's the driving seat. Mind you, it's hard to find the ones that aren't.
Yes. So Emerson.
That's the simple truth, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Everybody's a really good driver.
Oh, who's this? Carl Hardy here. Oh, with Russ Cowell.
Well, they won't hold back the pair of them two together.
No, definitely not. I wonder if I ended up missing. Oh, maybe I did. I think I maybe missed Jamie Wilson in the chat.
Come back, Jamie. All is forgiven.
No, I don't think I did miss him in the end, but never mind.
So, well, Russell is going to have his hands full because that looks like a very aggressive young Carl out there, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to press him. Look at that. Look at the pace Russell's got. It's because you've got the right paint on his car. It's probably 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's making him quicker, isn't it? Carl not managing to get round on that particular attempt. Further forward, we're getting into the realms of essentially getting messy. So Ant Woodward piling the pressure onto Arnaud, but likewise under pressure from, I mean, look at that. Stephen Walker went through there like he was being held up, if you know what I mean.
He's been showing some serious pace, hasn't he?
Yeah. Clyde on private chat, never do wave rounds. It worked the last time we did it. Armchair advice, always great. There we go. Emerson on the inside here of Wobbly. That's pretty clean racing though. That's lovely. It's not over. No, it's not clean at all. That's Wobbly round. We're not blocked just yet. They're going to have to wait for a
so
while.
hard as well. They were really trying hard as well.
Again, we saw that.
That's disappointing for you guys. Feels for you. They were both really trying hard to keep that right. You know?
They were. It was clean for quite a long time. But that is kind of what happens on the mountain.
Yes.
And it just opens up the championship a little bit further because that was championship leader involved in that one. Ooh, and that is off the track.
Oh no, thank heavens.
Who did you think
They've all
was?
got the same wheels and the same bloody cars these days. They all look the same now.
Right.
So much lime green is the
I know,
colour of the season.
Yeah. Let's see what happened here. We'll go over the top. It's certainly a race of incidents. So he's gone toe-to-toe with Ant Woodward into the chase. Got his braking point wrong. Oh, I didn't realise he'd taken out Stephen Walker. Where did Stephen Walker end up? I don't think he even lost a breath. Oh, maybe he did. Who's that off as well? Sam Blease.
Was that Sam?
Yeah. No, that was not a great move either. So, yeah, all sorts going on again. I'll go back live. As he comes in for repairs and to service the car.
Have you seen Roger's time?
Roger's time. Oh, wow. Okay. Roger Morton kicking on here. 3.3 seconds is his lead. This is going to turn everything upside down, I think. Tony Yates, not under pressure yet either. Ant Woodward has now not got Arnaud in front of him after that little cannonball exercise, or bowling ball exercise. And the pressure from Sam Blease is somewhat off Stephen.
Oh. Sam and Stephen won't be worried about this situation.
No. So
They're
I think
quite comfortable where they are, won't they? You know, they're at least they're two of the people you know will be able to pull a pass off when we need to.
The Hoff says Roger's clearly taken the sandbags out the back of his car. Too right. Back here it's getting tasty as well. So this is Chris Needham putting a move on Matt Flannery here. He's going to get this done because he's on the optimal side for the end of the chase here. Yep, that's a done deal. That's Stefan who's closing in on the pair of them in that Audi of his.
It's nice to see Stefan in among the race and enjoying himself.
Yeah, wobbly
Because
mate.
he had a disappointing first race, didn't he?
He did, yeah. That was Wobbly making his way very rapidly past Andrew Littler, who let him go there. No point in picking a fight with someone super faster than you.
And he's way too wise to go for that one.
Yeah. So, in the foreground, that was Roger Morton, then Tony Yates, Ant Woodward, Adam Wright, Stephen Walker, Sam Blease, and Jamie Jeffrey we're focused on because he's got Russell Cowell in his exhaust pipe at the moment. Fastest lap of the race is the driver in 16th place. So, Bathurst hasn't let us down so far, has it, Alan? We've had loads to talk about. I'm knackered already.
Yeah, well, there's a bit. So I must admit to a certain amount of tension because Roger's in the front, of course, and
yes,
he's my dear friend.
So,
and he will be feeling every inch of this. He's an emotional guy, you know, and he's into this, and he will be absolutely on the edge of it. He will.
Well, he's a quarter of the way in, and he's got himself a 3.7 second lead, and his lead is extending. But Tony Yates is getting caught now.
Yes, very. Well, his experienced races, Roger. He'll be well aware of what's happening behind him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He will. But he did have his first league win week before last, so we know his form's good, and his confidence is high because of that, and that makes a big difference to drivers.
Yeah, it does.
And especially around a place like this, because, you know, I do half of this lap with my eyes closed.
And this is Chris Needham again, overtaking Jason Kiley Haddington. Got the job done in a straight line. Teammates, of course, Air Smart Racing overtaking Air Smart Racing 2. And just in the background, Stefan Goebel passing Matt Flannery. That Audi is super rapid in a straight line. We've seen it on other tracks this season. And nothing different there. We're going to go back here because to the front here because Stephen Walker's putting lots of pressure on Adam Wright. And Sam Blease is breathing down his neck in turn. That's pretty wide there from Stephen Walker.
Oh, it's a tasty sandwich, that one.
It is.
There's a lot of potential in those three. Goodness. So,
whatever Tony Walker's ailed him, he's out of the race, which is sad.
Anthony's got his work cut out here, hasn't he? Mr. Woodward is.
Yeah.
He's got some fierce people behind him.
He
but,
has.
you know, he's got nerves of steel. So, and we know how hard it is to get by on here when you've got that kind of pace that he's got and can defend.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's catching Tony Yates really rapidly now. Roger Morton is still pulling away ahead, but I think that Tony Yates is the bubble in the spirit level. I think he's moving backwards rather than Roger moving forwards, if that makes sense.
Yeah. They you get a bad feeling that if Tony wasn't there, that the lead would evaporate rather quickly.
Not rather quickly just yet, but I think pit stops are going to be critical. If he's not practiced his pit stops, just as I move the camera forward a little, because Stephen Walker's done that move again out of Forest Elbow. Brilliant. That's twice we've seen him do that, and he's absolutely nailed it each time.
They're making a bit of time on Roger. But, you know, he's in the same second, but they're taking away, you know, few tenths a lap.
They are.
We know how that goes, because they do that so consistently, lap after lap, that those few tenths just eat your lead over a series of laps. They just eat your lead up.
Yeah, they do. We just saw Sam Blease overtake Adam Wright there. Oh, who is that that's just peeled off? Stephen Walker.
Already. Lap 7.
Is it Stephen Walker? Yes, Stephen Walker into the pits. That looked rapid into the pits.
Oh.
And you can save a huge amount of time here by doing a great pit lane entry, and pit lane exit is fairly straightforward, right? But pit lane entry is nothing short of a massive challenge.
Stephen's a bit of a virtuoso pit stopper, though, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
He's one of the virtuoso pit stoppers. He got in there incredibly quickly. He won't have got a black flag for being too quick. He'll have timed it perfectly, and he'll have put just the right amount of fuel in. He won't be there absolutely no longer than he absolutely needs to be.
No.
And he won't be putting any amount too much fuel in. It will be perfectly judged, and he'll be out again.
Yeah, I think Tony Yates is getting mobbed now. Ant Woodward went past him, and very quickly Sam Blease was through on him as well. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on behind here with Jamie Jeffrey, Adam Wright and Russ Cowell. Hopefully they don't try and trip each other up going down the Dipper, which is the next challenging area.
Don't know how to call that one, and Cole's coming up behind them as well.
Yes, he is actually, and rapidly. Looking at those times, because I can see more times on my screen than you can. In fact, he's with them now. He's just hauled himself right up to the back.
Crikey.
Good under brakes.
Fine driving.
That velocity is excellent under braking. You can leave it so late, even I can. Not as late as some of these guys, obviously, but there you go.
Yeah, it's got a very different feel from the Elantra.
Oh, massively. Short wheelbase, really agile. The Elantra, though, great for launching off corners.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we've seen that short wheelbase paying off in the last few weeks for people with some remarkable pace. With Gary, particularly last week, his pace was remarkable around Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, he's doing really well in this race, Gary Craig. He started way down the field. He's there, look. In 10th place, not shabby at all. He won't be happy with it, obviously, but he's... Oh, here we go.
In the low 19s. Look how many of them are in the 19.3, though. I mean, how are you going to make it around when everybody around you is doing to the 10th the same laps that you're doing?
Yes. So Russell Cowell is the latest visitor to pit road. It's easy to screw up pit road, so everybody needs to take care and pit the car.
Yeah, it's a long lane as well. Easy to get impatient, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Tony Yates managing to cling on inside this group.
Don't do what I did this week when I put the pit limiter button on and the window wipers came on instead.
Ah.
I've forgotten which button was which.
Oh, I've done that before.
I got in a fight with the window wipers, couldn't remember to turn them off.
So Adam Wright now really making an issue of this with Tony Yates. Going up the mountain, through Griffins.
That's not just psychological pressure, that's physical pressure. I'm sure he's pushing him.
Yeah, it really looked like it a minute ago, yeah. Bit sideways there for Tony Yates' Honda. Right, so the lead has come down a little. So he's at 3.9 seconds. Roger Morton. It's not falling off that quick though.
No, because he's lapping in the 19s and everybody else is. He's losing a little bit, but you know, it's a slow business, and they're being held up quite brilliantly by Ant. Everybody, he's doing a grand job.
He is. I'm going to take away the gap so that we can just see the interval. You don't need to know how far behind the leader is. As these guys come down the hill here.
Oh, crikey.
Chasing each other through for sure. Gary Craig is closing on these groups now. Obviously pit stops are in play, so their relative positions as Ant Woodward heads to pit road. So do a few cars here. Tony Yates has also gone in. Matt Elmore has also gone in. Nearly pushing Tony Yates in. Nearly had to push Tony Yates in.
Well, we're going to be watching Stephen coming up the field, aren't we now? And so he went in early, so Sam's gone long.
Yep.
And maybe Sam will be waiting for Roger.
Now this might be a bit of a false economy here for Roger Morton, because he might feel safe. He's looking at his relative thinking 4.2 seconds, I'm doing enough, but hopefully he's aware that some of the top guys have pitted behind him and created that gap for that reason.
He's good at reading the race. He'll be aware of what's going on behind him.
Okay.
I mean, everybody keeps an eye on somebody like Sam.
Yeah, this is way far down the field, but it's still for points. So this is JB on Andrew Littler. And they are in the middle of the people who have pitted. That's Wobbly in the background behind them. He's not yet pitted, I don't think. Let me go and double check what I'm telling you. Oh, he has.
I think he has.
Yeah.
He lost the place.
So Wobbly might be not that far away from the leading group by the end of this. Emerson has also rejoined the race, although he's quite a way back now. So we'll have to see what goes on there.
Well, his times are good, so depending on, we don't know how he did in his pit stop. Have we got time for his pit stop? Was it a good one? We don't know anything about his pit stop thing, do we? Got no footage to go on.
No yardstick for that one. Wobbly's is about average for everybody else. A couple of slower ones from Jason Haddington and co. But other than that, 45 looks like a good pit stop time. Stefan is going to come with a friend here, and that friend is Chris Needham. This is going to be a hard fought for position. Oh no, it's not. He's just let him go. I thought you might make an issue of that.
Well, Stefan's got that Audi.
And Roger Morton has blinked. He's in pit road. Carl Hardy has gone in with him.
Bit of moral support from his captain.
Absolutely. Gary Craig goes round again. Along with Jamie Jeffrey, Adam Wright, and somewhere up the road here, Sam Blease. So this will cause quite a stir in the points, I've no doubt.
Come on, Rog. Do the best pit stop you've ever done.
He's already on the way out. He's got the principal pit box right at the end of pit road. No penalty for him. Carl Hardy seems to be out in due course as well. Matt Flannery was also in the pits just there. Gary making his way up the mountain, and he's not that far behind these guys. And these guys were fighting it out for the top 6, we'll say. Sam Blease takes over the lead of the race. I don't know for how long. Yeah.
Sam's got his foot to the floor, he's flying. Look, you can see, look at the way his car is. You can see just the way it is on the track, but he's absolutely planted it.
Have you seen Wobbly's last lap time?
Oh, crikey.
He's not the only one then. 18.2.
That's a second quicker, isn't it? Didn't he just nearly knock a second off? Because they're all in the 19s.
Yeah.
He's done an 18.2.
Yeah. Crazy. Stephen Walker did an 18.3 a little while ago and had the fastest lap. He was in tow and all the other stuff, but Wobbly's got no tow. He's just out on his own doing 2.18s. He's got JB Dejoux for a bit of a tow over the top of the mountain here. Lights are on, and you can see that they're getting into the evening now.
It's a bad time for visibility, that in between when it's getting darker.
Yeah.
But before your lights become effective, you know, they tend to get, the cars can disappear into the background a little bit.
Yeah. So hopefully JB will make an issue of this, because Wobbly's left BSTV racing for Impulse Racing.
Was it a snap decision?
No, he's let him go.
Yeah. Probably a smart thing, and look, he's doing his best to get in the tow and stay on him with him, but
yeah.
I mean, I've tried that about 500 times and it's utterly futile.
Okay.
Where's Roger?
Where
Running
is
eighth.
Roger? Yeah, he's 8th. He's got a mob behind him, look. Have all those cars behind him pitted? Yes, they have. So he is effectively behind now Ant Woodward and Stephen Walker. And the reason for that is his pit stop time. He took an extra 5 seconds. So Stephen Walker is the furthest forward car that has pitted so far. So Roger lost his lead and more in pit road.
Well, that's yeah, unfortunate, but I can't say I'm entirely surprised.
No.
But, yeah, 5 seconds is quite a big difference, though, even for our Roger.
Yeah, it might.
Maybe he was excited, or maybe he just had maybe something happened to make that kind of a difference. You know what I mean? That seems like a large amount.
I mean,
the clean stop.
A lot of people are overly tentative into pit road here at Bathurst. It is a massive challenge. I've said it a few times, and
yeah,
I need to probably say it a few more. Yeah, I'm no different. You know, it's twisty as you head into it. It's fast.
Yeah.
It's all the things you don't want it to be, and then there's walls either side of you which do not help.
And you're leading the race. You know, unfamiliar position, all that pressure on you. You don't want to screw up your pit entry, do you? It's the last thing you want, so.
Oh, yeah. Right. Sorry, I've just had to, I'm just looking at David Ayres' message. What happened to Russell? I'm going to assume it's this.
Well, Tree, get out of the way.
So here's the car on the left. Oh, wow.
Ah!
So they...
Oh, my word. Was that Andy?
No, that was Gary Craig. So it looks like they both went into that corner, and then Russ has quit to the pits. So let's have another quick look at that, and I'll try and get above them sooner. Here we go.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
It looked like he was letting him go, and I don't know whether Gary's drifted. Oh, right. So yeah, Gary kind of went a bit straight on, didn't tip in. So not sure what's going on there exactly.
Yeah, it was strange, wasn't it?
It certainly was, but well spotted, David, on the chat.
Well, not people you want to see involved in incidents either. You know, they were having a good old race there.
Yeah, they were. Was that Gary? I don't know, or was it? Oh, you're right, there's too many yellow cars, so I'm going to rerun that and just see who it was that was next to him. It's Carl, isn't it? Is it? Let me select when I can find him. Who is that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was Carl, not Gary. I take it all back, Gary. Apologies.
Oh. Yeah, he got away with it. Kept on the road, got back on the road, no problem, and no meatball, presumably. Excellent. It's an unfortunate incident.
Yeah, strange one that.
Crashing. I hate to see people getting, having misfortune, especially when you went into a really good race. people put so much effort into it, and something peculiar happens, and because people are so careful normally, and careful of each other. It's unusual, but you get these weird comings together on the track, and it's racing incidents, and they're like little acts of God.
Well, this is the rest of the field that hadn't pitted. Have all entered pit road now, and look at that. Stephen Walker is going to take the lead of the race. And Sam Blease is going to come out in second behind him.
Oh, look at these two.
Wobbly is making his way through the field fairly quickly now, as everybody starts to pile out here.
So there's Roger.
Wobbly over the line. Straight. Yeah, Roger's still in 6th, so he's doing a great job.
He's chasing Gary.
Yeah,
he's chasing Gary.
I mean, Roger's got pace. I mean, there's no question about that. He did well in the first race. He's going to do well here. Emerson, it looks like, has had to pit for fuel after pitting so early in that first incident. Andrew Littler also in pit road for his scheduled stop.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say he hit the wall.
No, he's kept it clean so far. I probably cursed him by saying that, but never mind.
If you could say that on this circuit, that's
it's an achievement just to get through a 40-minute
race. It really is. It really is.
Stephen Walker a few laps ago, maybe even one lap ago, just did a 2:18.17, so currently the holder of the fastest lap.
This is definitely one of those places where unless you take risks, you're slow.
Yeah.
The track forces you into a pace that is intrinsically unsafe, where you're going to have to take risks. You're going too close to the wall. You have to go into things just slightly quicker than you're comfortable with, because if you don't, you're losing 5 seconds a lap. As soft as that.
Definitely.
And so there's no way safe. There's no safe way around it. There isn't. And, it's the people who manage the risk the best that do the best and survive the best. Because the risk is there for everybody. It's a very large part of the allure of this place. It's dangerous.
Oh yeah, it's a gamble either way, isn't it? Gary is definitely catching Adam. Adam reasonably new to TCR, has only joined this season and only part way through it as well. Gary's a TCR stalwart and is likely, but not guaranteed, to take 4th place away there. And then only 1 second further up the road is Ant Woodward, who's doing really well tonight.
He's also doing really well, isn't he?
Very well, yeah.
That's nice to see. He's a lovely man.
Yeah, we've got a really big gap now formed between these two at the very front and Ant Woodward in 3rd place. 3rd, 4th, 5th, probably 6th and 7th, who will be on the scene very shortly, which is Roger and Matt Elmore. There's going to be a very, very close 5-way battle very shortly if this carries on. And all sorts of upset in the league standings, I would think.
If you've never driven around here, do yourself a favour and get a car out, a PCR or a GT car or something, and go and drive around the mountain. It's a wonderful experience.
I honestly thought that Stefan was going to stuff it up the inside of Tony Yates there, but he's seen sense. And he's going to wait until the Conrod Straight, I would think. Where's Gary? They're not on arguing terms just yet, it has to be said.
It's so much about the last corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
So they go through this one and towards Forest Elbow.
There we go.
And he's going to try and nip down the inside here in Stephen Walker fashion. He's done a great job with that, actually.
It's very tight corner and hard to keep it in close like that, the way he did there. That was fine driving.
Yeah, and I think we missed Wobbly passing Carl. So Wobbly's made his way, because I know his World's Smallest Fan Club is on the chat. He's made his way into 9th place now, so good recovery drive from Wobbly.
It's been great, though, hasn't he? He was throwing up those purple lots when he was right down the back end of the field. You don't see it often, do you, purple lots?
No, no.
They were rising quickly.
Well, that's unusual, isn't it? Oh, no, it wasn't. It was unusual until Wobbly did a 2:17.9.
What?
Yeah, he must have got tow from Carl pretty much the whole way down Conrod.
Oh, goodness me. That's going to take some beating.
Yeah, Ant Woodward gone super defensive here into Quarry, keeping Adam Wright behind him and therefore Gary in contention as well. And Matt Elmore piling the pressure onto Roger Morton now. Roger's taking that defensive line down the centre of the road leading into the cutting. Can't do anything through the cutting really unless somebody's already lost it. What's going on back here with Jason Haddington and JB? JB slow off Murray's.
Oh, that's...
Well
done, Kylie.
Yeah.
That's a nice piece
JB went off track, that's why. He must have just run it wide at the last turn there at Murray's.
Oh, well, Kylie would got to be... But we really try not to stay in front of them because, you know, JB's been showing some really good performance recently.
Yep.
His driver's moved up. He's been moving up the grid. So
we're going to get on for 3 groups of 3 racing through this little area now of the field. So you've got these 3, which is Roger, Matt, and the very, very fast Jamie Jeffrey. Wobbly closing in quite rapidly actually, and then further ahead we've still got this 3-way battle. You can see all of them there actually, with Adam Wright chasing Ant Woodward and being chased by Gary, who's slinging it down. Oh right, he's let him go. There may have been a conversation there between teammates. So Gary now sets off after Ant Woodward to try and get a podium finish. This is the 3-way battle behind. Matt Elmore seeking a way past Roger Morton.
Their lap times were so similar.
Yeah.
And Roger's a very good defensive driver, a lot of experience.
Yep. Matt Elmore pulling out next to Roger now. Outside line can be very beneficial if you can get it absolutely nailed.
Where's he going to have enough?
And David says that Wobbly's done 2:17s in officials already, so he's no stranger to it.
I'm glad Roger didn't get involved into a braking duel there. That could have been.
I don't think the Elantra's got the ability to do that. The Veloster is really, really good on the brakes. I mean, that's not a heavy braking zone corner either, really, because it's uphill.
Not really.
It's quite sweeping. As long as you can get the camber to carry you round the corner, you don't have any trouble. Big gaps
so easy
front.
To go up on the left, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Lots of casualties there.
It's a very hard bit of wall there.
I don't think there's any soft bits of wall around this track. I found all the hard bits over the years. So Gary not crawling onto the back of Ant Woodward yet. That may change when they get on the straight, although the Honda's pretty quick in a straight line. That's what Ant Woodward's driving at the moment.
To go down. Oh, he's sticking in, still doing good lap times.
Yep. So Wobbly's now caught this group with 3 minutes to go. So it'll be interesting to see how many. Ooh, right, we've just missed.
3 minutes to go. Goodness me!
I know, it's just flashed by. This is Mr. Flannery hitting the wall on the inside of McPhillamy Park, and then the outside wall. And then the inside wall, and then the outside wall.
Oh.
And then reset. So that was the end of that one.
He was quick on the reset, but well done there.
He really was, yeah. Always good. So Matt Flannery getting a little bit of a gap ahead now. Oh, actually, moving forward. I think someone's told Gary Craig it's going to be the last lap soon, so he's sticking his head out on Ant Woodward and going to try and do the outside overtake. No, not yet. He's got yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
if he can stay alongside, he'll be able. Oh, no, he can't.
Oh no, it's lost it.
He'd have been great for the next 2 turns, you see, but
good attempt though.
Very good attempt. Very good.
And safely, it was a good attempt and safely done. You know, he pulled out. Everything was smart and slick and pro, and we like that very much.
We do. I'm just trying to see if anybody's waving a flag here yet. Yes, they are. That was the white flag being waved. So Stephen Walker making his way down the hill again, down the mountain rather, is on the last lap to victory if he doesn't smash it into a wall.
No, he's not going to put it in a wall.
Famous last words from Sir Alan too. Oh, this is looking tasty. So Roger under very high pressure from Wobbly now.
If he puts it in the wall, I'll eat your underpants. That's confidence for you, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, look at this. In the dark.
Yeah. We've got a pile of cars in the pits. I'm just not going to them. I don't know what's happened, but clearly somebody's ended up there.
Devastatingly hot where they are. The humidity's hot, you know. They're covered in mosquitoes.
Can Gary keep it on the outside and now the inside of Ant Woodward? This is a real battle.
Don't do 3 wide, guys.
I'm not showing you the leaders going over the line because this is where the action is. Gary's later on the brakes, but he's not going to manage it. And will he lose out to Adam?
No.
No, he won't. Right, what's happening behind? Everybody's losing it in the last corner. Wobbly's lost it and Roger lost it. They both went wide, and Wobbly has got maybe a slowdown or something, and something went on there. Not sure what exactly.
What? He's just on the fastest lap as well.
Yeah. 2:17.915. That was the previous lap. Well, that was certainly full of adventure. We've still got people on the track turning their last lap. We've not got anybody taking the jump, so the Hoff's going to be disappointed. JB coming round to finish his race. Coming down the mountain still is Jason Haddington. Matt Flannery also coming down the mountain. And Andrew Littler looks like he's left the pits to finish his last lap, so he's going to be on track for a little while yet. But if he does complete it, he'll finish ahead of Arnaud Chenonnier, Emerson, Gaudan, Russ Cowell and Tony Walker, so it's worth turning that 1 extra lap for the extra points.
Oh, what's happened to Emerson?
He met with a bitter end a little while ago, so I'll just show you that, because we were in the thick of everything else that was going on at the time. So this is what happened to Emerson. Trying to go around the outside of Andrew Littler, and that's how Andrew Littler ended up in the pits. Now, usually, there's only one line up the mountain. You can expect those spaces to disappear on the left and the right hand side of cars. So,
it's a very lack of gravity.
Let's see if Ant Woodward is going round for the jump. It looks like he is, so we're going to stay with him. He is. He's flashing his lights, so this is on. Is he the only one? I think he might be the only one. Let's hope I've got a good camera angle for this. Straighten the car up and off we go. Nope. Is he going to keep it on the track? Nope. Oh, that's expensive. Good lad. Yeah, David on the chat, that's not a place to pass. It really wasn't. Those little positions disappear quickly. So, let's go to Oh, that's the grid, not the results. This should be the results. There we go. No, that was race 1. Where's Heat 2? Oh, Heat 2 hasn't finished yet. Andrew Littler is still on track. So a little bit longer to wait, folks.
Oh. Stephen, on his
There he
return from his holidays, just in a race that had so many ups and downs for people, you wouldn't believe it. And he's managed to come through, Stephen Lucky Pants Walker.
Yeah.
With a really astonishing victory.
I know, that was a great result for him. What a crazy night's racing, or crashing. I don't know what to call it at the minute.
Well, you know what the track's like.
Well, yeah. It comes with its own legends, doesn't it? Right, we want the other race. So, round 10, finally, for the BSTV TCR Challenge. What a crazy night. Stephen Walker takes home the feature race victory for Spectre 6, with a 7-second lead over Sam Blease, believe it or not, who finished second for Geodesic Racing White. Third was Ant Woodward. Great podium there for NQR. Gary Craig fighting right to the very end in fourth for BSTV, and his sister teammate Adam Wright for BSTV Sports Pink came home in fifth. Matt Elmore was sixth for Spectre 6. Jamie Jeffrey 7th for CCR, with Roger Morton clinging on is the best way, I think, with Wobbly behind him in 8th place for Safeguard by result, and Wobbly behind him for Impulse Racing in 9th. Carl Hardy in 10th for Safeguard by result. 11th was Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports. 12th was Tony Yates for Sim Racing Grid Honda. Air Smart Racing's Chris Needham finished 13th. 14th was JB Dejoux for BSTV. Kylie Haddington finished 15th for Air Smart Racing 2. Matt Flannery was 16th for Geodesic Racing. 17th was Arnaud Chenonnier for Air Smart Racing. Andrew Littler, we saw him finishing, rightly so, his last lap there to get 18th place for Result Clothing iRacing team. Emerson Gaudan in 19th for Sapphire Simsport. Russ Cowell finishing 20th, 8 laps down for Spectre 6. And Tony Walker out towards the start of the race, really. 21st and sadly last on this occasion. Well, where do you want to start, Alan? In terms of going over all of that.
Well, there's too much to go over.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was incidents, and it's not really what we want to see. But in between the incidents, there was some very tight racing and some very skillful driving.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. So yeah, I mean the first race, yeah. Apologies for my technology on the screen, waving people around, blah 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 blah. Fairly unprecedented for me, and not what we normally get from this group of gladiators, is it, Alan? To be honest,
no, it's very unusual. We don't normally see that kind of those kinds of core interactions in general. But this is a track that if it's going to happen anywhere, it's likely to happen here.
Yeah. So. First into the booth. Let's hope he's not in mid swear word, because I know what he's like. Is Wobbly the traitor Kneecaps, who's
Hello.
bailed out of BSTV, joined his real friends in Impulse Racing, and on his first race in the Carnage sprint race, got himself a victory. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't see much of it. I just heard Gary scream, and then I just saw a weirdly thrown safety car. Hint, hint.
Well, I was trying to make sure that you didn't win and failed. No, it was a thoroughly blocked track. I don't know how many cars were in it. Maybe all of them apart from you. But yeah, there would have been screams because it was carnage. Is the best way to describe it. Then I cocked up the wave round, as you probably saw, but you know it worked on the previous track. But on this one, it's such a long track, I didn't really need to do it. It said he was a lap down, but there you go.
No. Basically, that's why I said that's why I mentioned the safety car. I think on this track like this long, I think the intentions were good, but on this long of a track, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So you still run off with the victory. It was quite a convincing victory in the first race.
Yeah, I held back a little bit because I saw Steven. He wasn't really struggling. He was fast, but I basically thought there's no need to push. And then on the last lap, I pushed to get the fastest lap.
Yeah, we saw that in the first race, and we saw it again in the second race. Not too far from the end, you did a 2:17.
17:8, I think, something.
Yeah.
One life needed for Mr. Kneecaps, doing laps of 2:17. Although David on the chat said you've already been in the officials doing those times, so you're no stranger to them already.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Second race, you got.
Yeah,
I
got blocked. I got blocked by Steven in the first corner, so Sam got past me, which was fine because Sam's pace was not where it was or usually is. So I wasn't too worried about that. And then I saw Steven moving through the field.
Yep.
Figured that I do will see move, which was it was a risky move, still was fair, but yeah, I got net coded real hard, and it happens. It's one of those things. I did a risky move, and yeah, well, nothing to say about that.
Not usually an overtaking place just there.
No, I think it was fine. We were side by side, and if it was me, I would have. I said this and I would have backed out, I guess, because there was no use for Godin.
Yeah, Emerson.
Emerson.
Godin.
Yeah, Emerson. But then again, fair play on him because it was still for a position, so he kept his nose in. And it was, I think it was like 50 centimeters, like half a meter of net code. Yeah, well, one of those things.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, a good victory in the first race. A good recovery drive in the second race, given the fact that you started in 8th and finished in 9th, but at one point you were right at the very back.
Yeah.
And some great driving through there. Anything for Wobbly Allen?
Well,
poking the
not
eye.
really. It was. I was glad to see him finishing nicely in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a difficult race for everybody. I think there was so much incident, and
it's just if you tap a wall, then it's off. And I think I tapped the wall as well because Tony Yates in front of me when I was trying to do my recovery drive, he hit the wall, and then it scared me, and I hit the wall on the outside as well. So it's just narrow margins, and it's just a hard track to drive. It's a hard track to master, and I think fair enough. Yeah, it was a bad incident.
Yeah.
But then again, it's a track which lends to do it. It happens in real life racing as well, and if I would have pulled out the move in Emerson, it would have been great. But the net code gods were not aligned with me.
No.
Brave move, and people have been. We saw a couple of incidents that were sad, because people have been trying to keep it really clean. You could see people really trying hard to, keep the cars separated in really tight situations. But it's just sometimes you get a bit of net code, you get just the slightest misjudgment, and
Yeah, I think looking in hindsight, I should have been more patient because I think I should have just pitted early, and I knew I had to. Wook was quick, but I knew I had to pace over him in clean air. So maybe I was just impatient. That's what caused it, I guess.
It's a good race in all. It was a bit of a mixed bag for everybody, and well done for getting to the end.
Yeah,
it was good to see so many drivers turn up because it usually scares people off.
You're right, actually. This one really deters people, usually. Pit lane entry is one of the scariest things you can do at this track. Sorry?
It's a fun one to do.
Yeah, we found a few other people who found some people going slower than they expected into pit road because people are sometimes super cautious.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody you'd like to have a shout out to, your new best friends in Impulse Racing, for instance, before we let you go?
Impulse Racing, thank you, Impulse Racing, because they're actually nice guys, Pete.
Right, yeah, okay.
Definitely not you.
No.
Because, well, I do like Sir Alan and all the guys, all the drivers. We had a good fight. Too bad about the first race and about the rear safety car. Hint, Pete, hint. Steven on winning the race, and I think that and Woodward came in third, so that's really nice. And it was good to see Jamie in chat, although he is injured. So
yeah. All right, go away.
Bye.
Bye.
And he's flushed himself. He didn't even give me the opportunity to do it. That's just cheeky. Right, so second into the booth for our interview pleasure, probably mid-sentence, which is why I talk over. And when people join... Stephen Walker, good evening.
Oi, oi, Savaloy.
Oi, oi. A race victory. A second place in the first race. Given what was going on, a good night's racing, or a good result, rather.
Yeah, considering I was like, oh, what track is it this week? Oh, it's Bathurst. Kind of will have to turn up for that scene, as I was like, it needs to stay, and it's probably my favourite track on the planet. So I came on last night, did one official, and then did the practice this before the race for like 20 minutes, and then in a set, Wobbly sent me a setup, and I changed, I think, most of it to get it to handle how I wanted it. And yeah, I'll be happy with that. Wobbly was quicker than me. Obviously, just got a bit unlucky in the second race, and the changes I'd made for the lighter fuel for the first race just meant it wasn't what I wanted. Whereas in the second race, it was exactly what I was expecting, and I could really push it. I did some good overtakes. Then I don't know how I saved it when I got hit in the back of coming at the bottom of Conrad.
I think we may have missed that. So who was that?
You need. I think it was the end of lap 3 at the back on the coming into the braking zone. Oh no, I think lost it under braking.
Oh no, we did. We saw.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
see
we did
that,
see it. Yeah, there was 3 of you off
yeah.
track at one point. You, Arno, and I think it wasn't Russ. Sam Blees.
Yes.
Sam Blees.
Yeah, as I came flying back on under no control because grass.
Yeah.
Sam managed to avoid hitting me. So I do apologise for that, but I could see it in the mirror, and I was like, "There's literally no time to react to this car flying towards me," and I was like, "Oh dear."
This is happening.
Yeah, I genuinely thought that's my race over, or I'd be pitting at the end of that lap if I kept it out the wall or whatever. But I definitely had some damage. I used my fast repair in my actual pit stop. I risked it for a biscuit, and yeah, it just went to the end. I was like, I got clean air. Luckily, everyone started to pit in front of me, so I didn't get held up or anything. It was just literally the right strategy. I could have maybe done one extra lap to make it easier before I pitted, but I know I would have caught the 2 guys in front on that lap, so I was like, I'll just pit, get out of everyone's way, and I wasn't expecting that, but I'll definitely take it. It was good fun.
Yeah. Fantastic, wasn't it? Leapfrogged positions. I didn't see that coming at all. There you were. All of a sudden, you're in front of the race. Amazing.
Very impressive.
We see that with you in your pit stops. I don't know why I'm surprised anymore, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it's something I've learnt from Sam and Spencer. You've got to be on your game. And crew chief was like, as I exited the pit, it was like, your pit window's open. I was like, I thought you told me it was still up earlier, but okay. But I would have been okay to the end. I would have, if we'd done one extra lap, I would have finished with 0.2 of a lap's worth of fuel left. So either way, I was fine. I just, it was, I don't know. Like I say, it's the first race I've done for a while, and I'm really tired. I'm starting to get poorly, and I was like, I don't want to miss Bathurst. It's the best track in the game for me. I love it.
If this is you tired and poorly, I'd hate to see you demolish a field when you're not. At Bathurst, anyway. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and recuperate?
Yeah, you guys putting it on. Everyone for still showing up. I think there was still over 20 cars, and there was again a few people missing. So it's good to see it growing, and there's a good foundation there. And I know there was an incident in race 1. I haven't seen it, but it's Bathurst, and that always happens. So
yes.
Overall, what I saw anyway was really good racing. If anyone thought I was a bit aggressive, I do apologise, but it was never intentional. I was just I was trying to let up. You know when you like let off a little bit just to give yourself time to react to someone in front, and they react even earlier than you anticipate. So it was just a case of that. But yeah, and the rest of my team, I don't think anyone had a good night. Russ didn't. My brother's
No.
computer turned off.
Yeah,
Cap had a good
craps
second
out,
race,
yeah.
I think.
Oh,
So overall, just thanks to everyone.
Well, one thing you can do is you can give people lessons on how to do Forest Elbow, because there's at least 2, if not 3, very, very long pieces of footage on the broadcast of you on the inside of people doing what I call perfect corners at Forest Elbow.
I love that corner.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. The risk you take on that inside, that's where I put it in the wall in the Bathurst 12 hours last year.
Ah, right, okay.
But that was in the McLaren, and the McLaren was rubbish.
Right.
Big
So I'm
car
blaming
as
the
well.
car.
It goes quick, doesn't it? Going around there. Goodness
Yeah.
me.
Bad workman blames his tools, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, you
McLaren sucks.
superb driver.
Cool. We'll catch you next time out then, Stephen Walker.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Right, next into the booth will be, if I press all the buttons right, Sam Blease. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, a second place in the second race. I think you came 10th in the first one.
Something like that.
Yeah. You got caught up in the mega pile-up, I think. Right behind
Yes.
Gary. I think you followed him into the accident.
Well, I followed Russ into Gary's boot.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, you were on the scene of the crime pretty quick, though.
Yeah.
The track was absolutely mullered, so race direction, a.k.a. me, through the yellow. Don't know whether it was a popular result, don't really care. I did it anyway.
It was the right call. The track was
No,
completely
it was the right
blocked.
call.
Right, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you made the decision really quick, Pete. The right thing to do. You know, you should be happy with that. You know,
All right,
and the
thank you.
drivers should be as well.
It was blocked. It had to happen.
Yeah. So, in terms of recovery drives, I think 10th, given the fact that you were in the pits at one point, and joining the back of the queue for the restart, and second in the second race, that's pretty good evening, isn't it, really? Given what it could have been.
It's not too bad. Yeah, could have been a lot worse, like you say. So I'm fairly happy. Points-wise, giving up a few to Wobbly, but not too many. It is what it is. There's always this is what drop weeks are for. But yeah.
Well, we're doing drop rounds now, aren't we?
Well, I can't remember what the final ruling was, but either way, I need something dropped.
Fill in the rest of that sentence yourself, folks.
Yeah, there you go. Do your own jokes at home.
Yeah. Any positive standout moments for you? We saw some good overtakes, but I think you were down on the speed of the Hondas tonight, or it looked that way from what I was seeing. The Elantra didn't seem to have it.
down on. I just wasn't very quick. I don't get on with Bathurst. I've never been any good at it. So I was never going to be on the pace of Wook and Wobbly. I could sort of match them on a really good lap.
Yeah.
But if I kept pushing to do those laps, I was going to crash.
Right.
So when I came out behind Work, I was just like, I'm just going to chill. And I still managed to hit a wall after that and smash my suspension up.
Right.
But yeah, it was. I was hoping, like on a clean evening, to just cruise around to 2 third places, without David and Spencer here, and because I knew those two were going to get away from me, and I think I had a 10th or 2 on everyone else. So I was just fairly happy to accept that, given that it's a poor track for me. I don't really get on with it, and move on and try and do better next week. But as it happened, Wobbly had a bad one in the feature race. I had a bad one in the first race, so we probably ended up fairly even.
Yeah, I would think so. I'm sure Gary will post the points at some point.
Yeah, he's done them. I'm
them.
ahead a little bit, but none of the drop stuff's happened yet, so I don't know how it'll actually look at the end of the season. But yeah.
Well, still massively entertaining from our perspective, and your campaign to retain the title continues. Anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you disappear?
I mean, I'd just like to maybe suggest that someone fixes the brakes on Russ's car for next week. But no, it was good fun, and thanks to everyone for coming out. It's a shame when you get the safety cars, but it doesn't happen often, and I do think it was the right call, so well done on that one.
Cool. All right.
Well, I'd like to say shout out to Emerson for his first race. I think a podium in the first race. Did he get
podium in the first one? I'm surprised he's not in chat.
No, I don't know if he does chat or what, but yeah, podium in the first race, great result, and then he was warned about wobbly, so I kind of.
Yep, I did it myself.
You did, yeah, absolutely. But it was netcode, so no one's fault. But yeah, good first showing, and good to have new faces in the league. So yeah, welcome.
No one's fault but Wobbly's.
Well, blame Wobbly, even if he's not online, if he's not racing, if he's not signed up for the season.
He could have been on a different track. Yeah, it would still have been his fault.
Yeah, his PC could be turned off. Which actually is ideal if we can arrange for that as a sort of permanent state of affairs.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Even better.
Yeah. In that case, we will see you next time out. Sam Blees.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, Sam.
Right then. Let's see if we can work this. So, man of 1,000 laps of Bathurst at least.
I was born here.
You were born here, yeah. Albeit in a V8 normally.
Yeah.
Is Ant Woodward. Good evening.
Evening.
So,
how are we doing?
All right. To be fair, I think you finished like 5th in the first race. I'm going to go with. You were right up there, weren't you?
Yeah, I think 5th.
Yeah. And
Maybe
then
4th, was it?
I
started 5th in the second, didn't I?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you finished 4th in the first race, and got yourself a podium in the second. You must be doing laps of this place in your sleep because you've done loads.
Yeah. I thought this week's going to be different, so I'll turn up in practice and I'll be on the pace, but that wasn't the case. So it's still 2 seconds off these fast lads. But I did notice I got a 2:18 in the race, so I guess I got myself up to pace as we went. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with that. It's nice to be able to race these boys for a change.
Yeah. Obviously, track knowledge is always king, isn't it? Knowing what you can do on which corners.
A bit of luck here as well, isn't it? I closed my eyes through the big incident and just managed to make it through. So.
I saw your car nipping. It almost like clenched its buttocks.
Yeah,
as it disappeared
really
through the dipper.
Yeah.
That was just crazy. But yeah, you've survived it, and for a while there, you were pulling a good gap. Was it the second race? No, it was the first race, wasn't it? You were pulling a good gap at the front there. Or towards the front, and you brought it home in fine fashion. So I'm just going to go and check where we're at next week because I haven't even bothered to look, to be honest. Schedule, where are we? We're going to circuit, and Gary will laugh at this one. Gilles Villeneuve, which is what someone once said in Gary's presence, which I think he's still laughing about now. I like. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We've been there with the V8s quite a lot. You must be familiar with it, and
we've done that loads in the V8s, haven't we? So one of Tony Klusterman's favourites as well. So maybe we'll do something similar next week. Just top 5. The last few races after the first race was great. VIR smashed it out the park there, and then the last few races is quite clear that I'm about 14th fastest, and okay, I'll deal with that first season. That's okay. So prepared to race those boys, and then Bathurst possibly a bit different. So we'll see next week. At least I do know it.
Anything for Ant, Alan?
Oh no, I'm just delighted to see you doing so well, mate. Really.
Cheers, Alan.
It's made my evening actually. Seeing you up there and competing, way outside of your normal range as well. Just
brilliant.
The race have done, put you in there, and you competed, and you didn't look out of place with the front mates.
Well, we always turn up for the door-to-door stuff, and there was a bit of that tonight. And the last few laps were absolutely nail-biting, and that's what it's all about. That's why we keep turning up. So, shout out to the boys.
That
turn up every week.
That was great. We saw some fine racing, didn't we? Some fine driving, because amidst the mayhem caused by the track, there was a lot of situations where it could have been that way and didn't, because the people were just really great car control. Saw some fantastic skill.
That's the case at Bathurst. You are racing the track as well.
Yes.
Constantly. We will see you then in Canada for next week's race. Ant Woodward.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Cool. Right. Next in, whether they want to come in or not, we're just going to grab them now. Is Gary Craig, mid-sentence probably. Good evening.
Good evening.
Your repair crew did a fantastic job in race 1 of panel beating that one out. You were the first on the scene of the crime, and then the crime just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite frustrating because obviously I saw Cap losing it and I managed to slow down, stop. I didn't know which side of the wall he was going to bounce off, so I slowed down. But obviously behind, Russ didn't see it quite as quick as me, and then everyone else behind him was blindsided. So, it was just a freight train from that point on.
Yeah.
A little bit frustrating because knowing I had avoided it and kind of did what I needed to do, you become a passenger after that. But that's just Bathurst, and that's the worst part of the track at the start of the race.
Yeah, so you didn't get the best of results in the first one. Where were you? About like
Last, pretty much.
Oh, right.
I started race 2 20th.
But you finished race 2 in 4th place, up 16 places, which is pretty meteoric. Obviously, race direction through a caution, and then Pete managed to cock up black flags and all sorts of other stuff. But
not in race 2.
Not in race 2, no. In race 2, you scythed your way through the field, got yourself a good pit stop, compared to the people around you at least, and got yourself nearly onto a podium because you were absolutely pushing on Woodward right to the very end there.
Well, yeah, that was like Adam let me through to have a go, which was nice of him. Good teammate behaviour there. Appreciate that. And I tried like that last lap. I had 3 goes at it and couldn't make them stick. I knew the first one into turn 2 wasn't really going to work because I tried that last night and there's no grip around the outside of turn 2, but I thought last lap, let's give it a go. Stayed close to him, side by side in the chase, but again, I was on the outside, so he got the inside, and then into the last turn, I was ahead, but again, he got the apex, so he just had his car in the right place at the right time. So yeah, really good racing from Ant there. It was a good battle at the end, but I think the race was really made in the pits sequence. I stayed out as long as I could, and I think the guys who pitted either got caught up in traffic when they'd pit, or I know a couple of people got held up entering the pit lane and lost a few seconds, because I was in about 10th and 3 seconds or so behind a big pack of cars, and after the pit sequence shook out, I was in 5th. So I obviously benefited a lot from other people's early pit stops maybe not paying off for them.
There was a big difference in people's pit stops. I think those that had practiced were roughly 5 seconds faster than those that had not.
Well, unlike usual, I hadn't done a single pit entry.
Really?
The only one I did was when I came in for the meatball repair in race 1 when Jamie Jeffries lost it on pit entry. So I didn't even get a proper go at it there. So I totally eyeballed it and just got it right.
So yours was one of the fastest pit lane times, 45.62.
Yeah, so I finished with 0.7 of a litre, so I got the fuel just right as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how close they were to going an extra lap. It must have been pretty borderline.
Very. It was about 2 seconds. That's why we probably didn't hear, but we were all on race chat asking Wook to slow down a bit.
20 cars just entered pit road. But no, I mean, entertaining night's racing as we watch everybody passing wobbly facing the wrong way on the replay there. Always fun to watch. And a good recovery for points and position in the second of the races. Obviously, you get a few more points for that, but probably not very happy about the first race, but that's Bathurst for you, I suppose, isn't it?
Do you know what the most frustrating part of it is? Is I'd done 8 races this season up to this point, and I'd got 9x total incident points, and I got 14 incidents in race 1.
Wow.
I like 1.5 times my entire incident for the entire season up to this point in one race. It was horrible.
Welcome to Bathurst. Next time out, we're at the circuit with the funny name. Can you remember it?
Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, you know that track pretty well.
I don't remember the last time I did anything
I was
there,
going to say.
and certainly not in a TCR. I think I remember we did an
GTs
F4 there at some point.
And F4, yeah.
Yeah, but it's been a long time since I've done anything there, and I've maybe driven a TCR once there. It's a good track. I like the track.
Yeah,
so
no, it's good for the TCR. It's a nice circuit
Yeah.
with TCR.
It's going to be a bit harder this season with not so much draft. You probably saw it tonight with the overtakes into the chase not really being a thing so much because the draft with this season's patch is almost gone.
Really?
You'd really have to rely on getting a run rather than just getting 2 seconds behind somebody and then get sucked along. It's almost gone.
Wow.
So yeah, it's making overtaking a lot more of a worked maneuver than just a DRS pass.
Yeah, because we've seen that though. We have seen some well-constructed overtaking. So maybe
it's the only way.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, mistakes. Just having genuinely a bit more of a lap delta than somebody, although that's not always enough. It's been hard to pass for the last couple of weeks. Like mid-high is a hard track to overtake, and since you don't have that one overtaking opportunity after the straight, it really did make it tricky.
Yeah,
well, you're so tight, aren't you?
Yeah.
Times are ridiculously tight.
There's not much in it.
You've got to get a perfect exit from somewhere to actually, make it on the straight, haven't you? You've got to do something exceptional.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was focusing on out of Forest Elbow tonight when I was trying to get that overtake on Anton the last lap, is just get the exit there right, and I did get alongside. It's the only real way.
Mm-hmm. Well, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go and celebrate your recovery in race 2, and we'll forget about the position in race 1?
Yeah, I mean, big shout out to Adam and JB. They both were good teammates there. They both let me through at one point to try and push forward, which is really good of them. Obviously, big shout out to Wobbly for causing that massive accident with his own netcode.
Yeah.
What a disaster. But no, just big shout out to Anne for that good racing at the end, and Adam and everyone else who piled down the mountain tonight.
Yeah. And
we made it in the end.
You did, and from a broadcast perspective, second race was great. I don't know what the first one's going to look like with my yellow flag and all the other stuff that went with it.
Can we please just not do cautions ever again? you know my opinion on cautions.
Yeah, but if it's a block track, it's a block track.
We were getting it sorted.
Anyway, we will see you next time out at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.
Right, and last one in the booth.
The captain.
The captain himself, Matt Elmore. How are you doing?
Oh, God, what did you have to pull me in for?
You were still sat there.
He's sitting in the booth.
Yeah.
I was just looking through Facebook.
Well, more fool you. So, shall we talk about the first race?
No.
Okay. You were at the scene of the crime before the crime happened. In the Dipper. We saw the smoke in the distance, and then we saw the carnage. Probably want to forget about that one, do you?
I kind of, I had pace. I had a good start, going a couple of places off the start, I think, 1 or 2. And, just coming down the hill, just lost the back end. I went a little bit too quick in, because caught the grass, that was it, boosh.
Yeah, and that is...
I quickly reset to the pits as quickly as I could, but it was too late.
Yeah. I mean, that you're describing is many people's experience of Bathurst. You are not on your own.
I will say, though, thanks for the 55-second penalty, which I didn't need.
Yeah, I'd already given you an extra lap, so I had to take it back. So
on game chat, I was like, oh, someone tell them. I went into pit road, and I waited until every single car went past. And then I came back out of the back. So, and I had the pace to obviously gain a few positions in a couple of laps.
Right.
So I thought to myself, okay, damage limitation for race 2, and then this penalty's still there. And I was saying in the game chat, hoping that you can hear it. Am I still getting this 55 seconds? And I thought, I've got to come in just in case I get kicked off for race 2.
Flagged.
Yeah.
So I thought, I know I can gain some places back race 2. So I thought to myself, now sod it, I'm just going to go and park up on the pitch just in case I get black flag for race 2.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'm not going to say what I said. I was like, thank you, Pete.
Yeah. Hey dear. Well, I was damned either way. It said you were a lap
Yeah.
down, so I waved you, and then all of a sudden you weren't.
I was hoping with your masterful skills of being a commentator and being able to switch cameras and keep an eye on the championship table and the leaderboard and the lap times and keep an eye on everything else, you'd notice that I went to the back.
Yeah. No. But race 2, up 13 positions from your start, scythed your way through the field. Gained some in the pit stops because you had a reasonable pit stop.
I didn't. I got absolutely done coming in the pits. I can't remember who it was. But...
Oh, was it you that followed Tony Yates in?
Yeah, yes.
Give him a little shunt in.
Absolutely done. I lost 3 seconds on Gary on that.
Right. Okay.
Gutted.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, it is what it is. It's a good recovery.
Even with that, you were still. Well, yeah, you were. You lost 3 seconds, literally, exactly, to Gary in the pit lane time, but you were still faster than a lot of people around you.
Yeah, I suppose it goes from cone to cone, doesn't it? Like,
yes.
Yeah. So, in that respect, yeah, I was quite close on fuel. If there was another lap, I don't think I'd have finished the race. But...
Same as most people, I think.
Yeah, I was obviously me, Gary, and Russ got quite close. I got past, and sorry, Carl. And yeah, Carl decided to yeet Russ off, I believe.
Yeah.
Like I said to him, 2 people with fat asses can't get past him. So.
Yeah, I was blaming Gary for that at one point because the car colours are so identical. It was only when I zoomed in that I was like, oh, hang on, I'm going to have to take that back, and it was definitely Carl. But he did, he fully yeeted him. I don't know what happened to Russ because he can't have taken that much damage from it, could he?
No, I think just I afford it.
Right.
Because he was probably absolutely raging at Carl for taking him out, but B, because it's one of them situations again, like when I quickly came out to get the toe in race 1, you don't want to wreck other people at the same time, do you?
No, definitely not. Not much you could have done though. Once that starts at the dipper, there's only one line through the corners, and everybody piles through it. So shame, but hopefully it's not done your championship too much damage because you get a drop week, and this might be the one.
Most definitely be it. I think.
Yeah. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and plan your Circuit Gilles Villeneuve wins?
I'm going to say thank you to every single person in race 1 that I affected their race for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hold my hands up that one, my bad. But no, thanks for everyone for hosting and doing all this sort of stuff. Wobbly for hosting every Monday night. It's very appreciated. Carl for eating loads of pies. Yeah. The teammates were coming back having a decent race. Unlucky for Russ, Carl took him out. Yeah, that's it really.
Cool. In that case, we'll see you in Canada next week to duke it out all over again.
Great.
Cheers, Cap.
No worries, later.
Good night, mate.
Ciao.
Cool. Right. Well, what an evening's racing, Alan. I don't know how you sum that up, but I'll let you have a good try at it.
Well, I don't know how you begin to sum that up. Actually, it was there was so many. You know, the pit stops were in the feature race were the turnaround thing, weren't they? It was spectacular the way that places changed.
Yeah.
Just because of that, there was like normally they're so tight together, but there was a big switch around. And we saw so many little battles, didn't we? 3-car battles where people were just getting really intense, so close, in each other's boots. And around here, like you're treading a very fine line between victory and disaster. We saw some really great drivers, some great moments of skill, and very competitive as usual. But people were really going out their way to try and keep it clean,
It's just so difficult. The track's not really that wide, is it? And most of the top of the mountain is one line. That's all you've got.
Yeah. It's hard to get by, but we saw some heroic amount of overtaking by people tonight as well.
Oh, yeah.
On a track that's traditionally really hard to get by.
So we've got the onerous task of allocating our drivers of the meeting.
Are you going to go first?
I think I'm going to have to. Stephen Walker did a great job. His first race back after his holiday, gets himself a victory in a second place. there's not much more you can say about that, is there? Sam Blease didn't have the best of the first races, and a second place in race 2 is great. But someone like Ant Woodward, a 4th place and a 3rd place, that's pretty impressive.
Yes, very impressive, I think, for Ant.
Yeah, Gary, got caught up in all sorts of disasters in race 1, so probably not, even though his recovery drive in race 2 shouldn't be ignored. 16 places he's pulled back through one of a number of different skills that he's got, so very impressive recovery there. Adam Wright did well in both races, really.
Yes, and he did well last week as well. He's showing consistent form, I think. Adam's doing well for himself.
Yeah, 4th and 5th actually for Adam Wright, so that's pretty good.
That's, well, coming into a league like this and compete and getting into the top 5 straight away, it's because he was doing that last week as well. He did well last week as well. I think he's he's made an impressive start.
Yeah, Jamie Jeffrey, he got caught up in the first race's nonsense, but he had such good pace.
He had great pace, didn't he?
Very good. Roger.
Well,
lit the wick tonight. He was, 8th
it was
in the
fantastic
first one.
performance by him, wasn't it? He drove beautifully.
And he
was held that position, and he looked good for it. He had a decent gap. Obviously, in the end, he got closed down, but I think he did himself very proud. But his racing and his racecraft, and on the track form was fantastic. He can be well happy.
Yeah, so where's my vote going to go? What am I going to do? I am going to say that Ant Woodward managed to avoid he's shown that track knowledge gives you an advantage. He's done thousands of laps around here in the V8. That won't have gone unnoticed for a front-wheel drive car as well. And he's made that work for him tonight and got himself a 5th place and a 4th place, I think it was.
Yeah.
No, a 4th and a 3rd, sorry. I'm going to give my vote to Ant Woodward tonight because he's used what he's got well.
Yes. Well, I think that's a really good choice because I would have chosen Anthony as well, and in fact I still might. Because I think he's been outstanding. Roger was drove a driver you can be really proud of, I think, and but so many other people did really well. Some great overtaking manoeuvres and stuff. It's so hard to overtake here, but people were racking them up. But you wouldn't ever give it to the first bloke.
No.
But I think Stephen deserves it for the reasons you said.
Yep, fine.
And so he's going to get my vote.
Right, your vote is in, and a well-placed vote that is as well. So Stephen Walker, first race back after his vacation, and back to winning ways, and done a great job with it all. To be honest, we saw some beautiful overtakes from him at Forest Elbow, which I said to him in the chat when we interviewed him. A great night's racing from him. A very entertaining night.
Usual level of skill and calm commitment. He's a very impressive driver, Stephen, and consistently on the case. He never drives badly. I've never seen him do a bad race.
No.
He's either really good or just fantastic.
Yes, yeah. And he showed his true form tonight. So great racing from Stephen Walker, and he gets Alan's vote tonight. So that's brilliant. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm gonna bring this broadcast to a close now because I'm knackered after that, Alan. I'll say goodnight. I'll say thanks to all the runners and riders, to all those that tuned in, that contributed to what is a massive chat. I'm going to watch this one back because that first race incident needs a good analysis and see what I can do better with cautions. And I'll say goodnight to everybody. Night, everyone. I'll see you next week. Over to you, Alan.
Good night, folks. It's been a grand night, and I enjoyed my amber nectar, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye.